Hi, guys. How's the burrito? Good. Um, let's do the message first tonight. Is that okay? Okay, sweetheart. Only 4 pieces. Put the water bottle under your chair, please. Driving me bonkers. What'd you guys do this weekend? Anything? What'd you do today? Clean. Woo, that's fun. What'd you clean? Beach houses? Your house? Oh, even more fun. You didn't get paid for it. You jumped on the trampoline? It is so nice out, huh? Yeah. Oh, you got a puppy? McDribble? Nice. I like it. McDribble. I like it. He what? Does he? Little puppy bites? Okay. Yep, that's right. No bite. So tonight we're going to talk about a passage that was written, what do you say? By David. Does anybody know who David was in the Bible? Uriah does, but his mouth's full. Who's David? All right. Well, you answered one of my questions already, but I got to get my candy. All right, so David spent much of his young life alone taking care of what? Sheep. Can you open this? No. Why did he get that task of taking care of sheep? Do you know why? Because he was the youngest. One day while David was tending sheep, his whole life changed. Have you guys been through anything that made it seem like your whole life was changing? Yeah? The king of the Israelites, anybody know? King what? No. No. King Saul, had chosen to disobey a direct order from God regarding a specific battle. And this was part of Saul's rebellious, selfish, and stubborn heart condition, is what you could call it. He allowed his heart to become so hard towards God, he became rebellious and selfish. So God rejected Saul as Israel's leader. God didn't reject Saul because he made one mistake, but because Saul made decision after decision to be selfish and stubborn, rebelling against God and showing him that Saul could no longer be trusted as the ruler over his people. What's up, dude? Madison's sitting there. Oh. Why did God reject Saul? Was it because he made a mistake? Because everybody makes mistakes, right? Here, you get 2 of those because you answered 2. Kinsey, you get 1, even though I didn't ask it yet, you answered 1. Saul chose to live in sin. It wasn't just a mistake he made. He chose to deliberately live in sin. Saul thought he had gotten away with rejecting God's command because for a while he was still in power, right? But God sent his priest, Samuel, to tell Saul that he was going to reject him as king of God's people. God sent Samuel to Jesse's house to anoint the next chosen king of Israel. Samuel had an idea of what the king should look like. Does anybody know? What did he think? Go ahead. Samuel went to Jesse's house and thought he knew what the next king would look like. Do you remember what it says? That's right. That's right, man. So, even though Samuel had an idea of what a king should look like, God used an encounter to help Samuel let go of his expectations to see the plans God had for his people and for their future leader. And you can read about that in 1 Samuel 16, starting at verse 6. When Samuel first saw Jesse's eldest son, he thought, "Surely this is the Lord's anointed." But the Lord said to Samuel, "Don't judge by his appearance or his height, for I have rejected him. The Lord does not see things the way you see them. People judge by outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." Samuel tested all 7 of David's older brothers, sure that each one must be the one God wanted him to anoint as the next king. But none of them were chosen by God. Then Samuel asked, "Are these all of your sons?" And he said, "There is still the youngest," Jesse said, "There's still the youngest. He's out in the fields watching the sheep and goats." Send for him at once," Samuel said. "We will not sit down to eat until he arrives." And the Lord said, "This is the one, anoint him." So as David stood there among his brothers, Samuel took the flask of olive oil he had brought and anointed David with the oil, and the Spirit of the Lord came powerfully upon David from that day on. Then Samuel returned to Raham. Samuel didn't take David with him to go overthrow King Saul, though, did he? He left him there. He left David at home, knowing that he was anointed to be the next king, and David went back to doing what? Tending to the sheep. Why? Yeah, because that was his job. That was the last thing he knew he was supposed to do. Did God tell him, go tend sheep, or did his dad? His dad did. But what does the Bible say? Obey your parents. Obey your father and mother. Okay? So that was, if he was listening to God, and his parents gave him something to do, and God didn't say, "Hey, now's your time, go do this," you go back to the thing you knew you were supposed to be doing. Because you can get lost along the way. You can try to rush God's plans, and is that going to work? Nope. It doesn't say how long he remained at home, but because he was well known for being a talented harp player, eventually he was recruited to play the harp for King Saul. Wouldn't that be weird, knowing that this is the guy you're going to be replacing and he hires you to come play for him? David could have said, like, "Why would I play for you? I'm going to have your job," right? But he didn't. He had a humble heart. And that's exactly why God chose him. David was sent to play the harp because King Saul had a tormenting spirit that filled him with depression and fear. Why do you think King Saul was afraid and depressed? Because he was mad at God? Why do you think Saul was afraid and depressed? Because the Holy Spirit left him, because he chose to disobey God, right? Man, I have candy for days over there. So David's father sent him, David, to take provisions to his brothers who were soldiers in the same battle. And David proved himself to be brave warrior by killing who? Oh, she already answered that one. Sorry. Earlier. So, does anybody remember how tall Goliath was? What? 9? 9 foot. So, it's most likely that David was a teenager, not a little boy like Braxton. And sometimes in the stories we read, that's what it shows, right? He's a little kid, but he was probably a teenager like most of you in here. Anywhere between 12 and 17. Yeah. Yeah, compared to a 9-foot giant, he would look like a little kid, a little boy. So often David's story is told as though he was a shepherd boy who killed Goliath, then became king. But there was a lot of time that passed between the time he was anointed king, killing Goliath, and actually becoming king. Knowing more of his backstory, what do you think gave David the courage to fight Goliath? What? Well, that's what he killed him with. Yeah, but what gave him the courage? The lion and the bear gave him courage? He did kill those, but where does your courage? Yes, Anya. I can't hear you all the way in the back. So, after David defeated Goliath, the Israelites' army defeated the Philistine army. David continued to help King Saul by being his armor bearer, playing the harp for him and fighting battles for him as a soldier, but he was not allowed to return home. David was such an amazing warrior that the King Saul became envious of him and ended up wanting to kill him and tried repeatedly. David made a good friend named, does anybody know David's friend? Yep. But David had to leave him because he happened to be the king's son. So his best friend was the son of the guy that was trying to kill him. David had to flee from King Saul to save his own life and leave his friend Jonathan as a result. Also, David's wife, Saul's daughter, was taken from him and given to another man. He spent many, many years running for his life and hiding from King Saul because the king was intent on killing him. Many amazing things happened in David's life, but those things were mixed with even more hard times, more hard trials, and a lot more than what we've read about just right now. David could have never imagined the amazing things that would happen when he was a shepherd boy, alone watching over his father's sheep, like killing the lion and the bear. If David had said to Samuel, "Nope, you're just a crazy old man. There's no way I'm going to be king," and if he would have ignored King Saul's need for help, like why would I go play the harp for that guy? Doesn't pay that good. Or knowing that he was supposed to take Saul's place, and then Saul needed help through his dark times, could David have turned away and said no? He could have, but that would have been going against what God had told him to do, right? He could have stayed with his sheep and probably been happy, right? He enjoyed taking care of the sheep. So if he would have If he would have stayed watching his sheep and not listened to what God had told him to do, what would have happened? Goliath would have most likely killed the other army? I didn't even think of that one. That's good. What else would have happened? What would have happened to David? Hey, what? I don't know. What? His brothers would have died and he wouldn't become king? There is a lot of things that would have and could have happened if David chose to not listen to God, right? So your choices in life of whether or not, yeah. That was close enough. No idea. There you go. Your choices in life, whether or not you're going to listen to God and go where he sends you, will and can affect other people, right? What did David always hold on to even through the hard times? Not what I'm looking for, but probably, yeah. No, it's not a physical item. Faith. His faith. He had faith that God would get him through. Didn't matter what he was going through, he had that faith, right? That's how he was able to continue to serve God, because he had faith in God and he trusted him. So though we don't know for sure when David wrote the Psalms, what words or what reason did he have? Have you guys ever read the Psalms? You've heard a lot of the songs, right? Those are really powerful songs, right? They encourage you. They give you confidence that you can fight your battles. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Right? What gave David the confidence to write all that? God. I gotta find one I can throw. That was a good shot. Hold on, baby. God had proven himself to David over and over. If David wrote the Psalms as a teenager, he could have been thinking of God's faithfulness to protect him while he was guarding the sheep. If David wrote it as a young man, he could have been thinking of God's faithfulness to give him the strength to defeat Goliath and to protect him from King Saul. So no matter what you're going through in life, God is not done with you yet. And that's not all there is. When you feel stuck, do you ever feel like David, because he was out by himself all the time, right? Alone with just the sheep. Do you ever think he got lonely? Probably. In your walk with God, do you ever feel lonely, like people aren't going through what you're going through? I have. He did, but actual people. You're not getting another candy. I already gave you like half the bag. So, if you ever feel stuck, alone, or without a purpose, that means the enemy is trying to keep you down, and fear is trying to silence you. You are waiting for something to happen. You're waiting on God to move. Just know he does have plans for you, and it'll be in his time, and he will complete what he has started in your life. Philippians 1:6 says, God, who began a good work within you, will continue his work until it is finally finished on the day when Christ Jesus returns. God does not leave his work unfinished or his purpose hidden from us. Do you all know what your purpose in life is? What? Partying for Jesus. Celebrating Jesus 24/7. Do you know your purpose in life? Do you know where God's going to take you? Has he? No, not yet. Sissy, stop playing with those. So, this is what we call your waiting time. You're waiting to see where God's going to take you. What do we do in our waiting time? Anybody know? Yeah, you wait. Yes, you can, but you don't sit idly. Do you know what that means? Don't sit around twiddling your thumbs saying, okay, God, what are you going to do? You come to youth group. You reach out to your friends. Start a Bible study at school. You do things until God tells you, hey, this is what I want you to do now. Right? What do they say? Idle hands, what? I think it's an old saying. I thought Donna would know. But they get you in trouble. When you're sitting around and you're bored, what usually happens? Yeah, and you get in trouble. Because usually it's not good. You could write a song, learn an instrument. You could play with your toys. But whatever you do, because right now it seems pretty easy, but there will be hard times. What? Nothing? Okay. Yeah, there will be times when you get in trouble. There you go. Idle hands are the devil's workshop. If you're not doing something for God, what are you doing then? You are sinning if you don't do what he says. Is it a Proverbs? Proverbs 16 is that scripture, or is what I just said. Idle hands are the devil's workshop. So if you're not doing something for God and you're not moving forward in his kingdom, are you a threat to the enemy? Do you always want to be a threat to the enemy? Yes. Yeah. If you're on a football field and you're not blocking any tackles and you're just letting the offense run right by you, are you helping your team out? Who are you helping? The opposite team. So if you're not advancing in God's kingdom and you're sitting there doing nothing, who are you helping? The enemy. Make sure you're not sitting idly. The enemy. Let's see if I can find one. Let me find my other bag, okay? I got stuff for you in there. I just got to go find it, okay? So, can you go in Pastor's office on the chair right when you walk in to the left and see if there's a sucker there for her? So, these presents here are going to be part of the illustration of what I just preached about. Shh. I need 5 volunteers. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many Warners do I have? 1, 2. If I point at you, come up here. 3, 4, 5. You turn 5? Nice. Okay. I'll tell you how this... Yes. Go sit. Madison will open it. Go sit. Madison will open that. Okay. I'm going to pick up a present and I'm going to shake it. And you guys need to listen very carefully. Actually, you know what? We'll do it this way. You, 4, go down to the fellowship hall real quick. Hurry up. Nope, not you. Go, Braxton. Go down there. Okay, I'm going to shake this, and you're going to tell me what you think it is. Come to the center. Listen. You can't touch. You get one guess. What do you think it is? Let's take a guess. Toy truck. Okay. Legos. Okay, go sit. Braxton, come here. Braxton, come here. You're going to listen to this while I shake it, and then you got to guess. One guess.
No, it's not a cell phone. It's a tablet.
One guess.
That's a lot of toys.
Okay, go sit. Someone else come up. Don't. Hey, just sit next to me. Don't talk. Okay, I'm going to shake these. You have to listen and tell me what you think they are. Shh. You have to guess. Paper? Okay, go sit. Uriah. 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 Yes. Okay. You're going to listen and then guess. One guess what you think it is.
Hot Wheel? Book?
Just what does it sound
Candy?
like? So what do you think? Okay, go sit. All right, come on up. Shh. A tornado, huh? Okay, you're going to listen. I'm going to shake them, and you tell me you have one guess. And don't take an hour to guess. Come closer so you can hear better. You don't think anything's in there? It might be nothing. You got to, whatever you guess. Is that your guess? Okay. Another box. Okay. What? Closed? Okay. Lego box. Okay, go sit. Actually, if you play the game, come up on stage now. No, if you played it, Sissy. You're not playing it now. Okay, stay where you're at. You next. No, it's over. Go sit. Let's see. Braxton, come here. You go there. Okay, I think that's right. This was the order of who was the closest and who didn't get anything. But that's okay. Kinsey, pick a present. You want the big one? Why do you want the big one? Because it's big and it looks nice. Okay.
Open it, open
No, not yet. Which one do you want? The one everyone thinks is a book? Okay. Which one do you want? I'll shake them. Which one? This one?
That's the one.
Okay. Which one? You sure?
No,
Hurry up.
that one.
No, pick one. Throw it to your brother. The one that sounds like there's nothing in it?
Wait,
No,
no.
you already picked it. You already picked it.
Sounds
Okay, open them up. Open it all the way up so everyone can see what's in it. You guys get to clean up the garbage when we're done too. Kenzie, put all your stuff right here. Uriah, put your stuff next. Sissy, go sit.
I can't open this.
There's a hole, one hole, right there.
Yeah. Stuff now.
Yeah, take.
What did you get, Kenzie? What is that? What is that? Gift card or something?
Yeah, sit down.
I got a card.
That was all you had.
I didn't get anything.
Okay, go sit and then I'll give you your stuff.
I never got anything.
Okay, go sit.
She got a book.
You get all your goodies out of there? Nope, there's a couple more. Sit. All right, Kenzie picked the biggest gift. And it had some pens, some toilet paper that's dirty, not with poop, just dirty, because of the rocks that were in there. Some bandage, if you ever get an owie. And 2 pieces of candy. So the biggest one wasn't necessarily the best one, was it? Uriah, you picked the one that didn't sound like there was anything in there, right? One of them? It was heavy, but it didn't sound like anything, and he had 2 king-size candy bars in there. You got the Tic Tacs, which I think you guys said nerds, right? Braxton, yours sounded like nothing was in there, right? But it had the most expensive gift in there. It's only $10, but to Fred Meyers. Ooh, yeah, we like Fred Meyers. And then you had exactly what you guys thought it was, a piece of cardboard. So who got the best gift? You think the cardboard's the best gift? Why? Yeah. You think you got the best? Kenzie, do you think you got the best? No? Uriah, come get your gifts. You guys can all come up here and get your stuff. Here's your piece of cardboard. Yep, that's all. You got to take it all. Who got the cardboard? Let me grab a couple of these out here. So, just like Uriah said, sometimes it might not look like the best gift, but you have to be patient because God's plan, yes, I'm the one that gave you the candy, but God's plan will eventually reveal itself to you. give me your thing too. Yep. I told you to be quiet. So now do you think you got the best gift? Yeah. It didn't look like it, did it? It was just a piece of cardboard. But if you're patient, God's plan will reveal itself to you. And his plan is always better than what we see, correct? His ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. So trust God and be patient during the waiting season. Don't sit idly. Why? Idle hands are the devil's workshop. Who didn't get a piece of candy? About to hit you with them? Okay, go in the back and ride it. All right, are you guys ready to do some worship? What? Are you ready to do some worship? No? Anya, I guess we're not doing worship tonight. You didn't sound very excited. I didn't even ask anything. And are you guys ready to do some worship? All right, Anya, Madison. Yes, please. I have the stuff up there. In between each song, I put a screen thing, just so, I don't know. Did you guys learn anything from that message? What? God's thoughts are higher than our thoughts. Anything else? Anybody? What? No. Exactly. Yep. What we see might not be the final results of what God's plans are. All right, stand up. Put your candy down. You can all eat one piece if you haven't already. Get some sugar in you. You can have one piece. Come get your stuff and put it on your chair. We have worship flags for what? Uriah, what are the worship flags for? You can do candy trading later. What are the worship flags for? Worship. Do they work for sword fighting? Yes, they do. But is that what they're for? Nope. All right. Stand up. Come up front if you want. If you don't want to worship, that's fine. Don't be a distraction. Okay?
Hey Kyle, your wallet's in here. Your wallet. years of fame are never enough. Then you came along and put me back together. It's every desire, it's now satisfied here in your love. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you. There's nothing. Nothing is better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you. There's nothing. Nothing is better than you. I'm not afraid to show you my weakness. My failures have gone toward you, see them all, and you still call me friend. 'Cause the God of the mountain is the God of the valley. And there's not a place your mercy and grace won't find me again. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you. There's nothing. Nothing is better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you. There's you took morning to dancing. You give beauty for ashes. You took strength to glory. You're the only one who You took morning to dancing. You give beauty for ashes. You took strength to glory. You're the only one who You took breath in the garden. You took moments to harvest. You took seasons to harvest. You're the only one who cares. You're the only one who Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing. Nothing is better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing. Nothing is better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing. Nothing is better than you. speak Jesus. I've tried so hard to see it. Took me so long to believe it, that you choose someone like me to carry your victory. Perfection could never earn it. We give what we don't deserve, and you take the broken and raise them to glory. You are my champion. Giants fall when you stand undefeated. Every battle you've won,
song we were going to do, but I want you guys to have some fun with this one, okay? We haven't done this one in a while. Put your flags down. Participate. Have some fun, okay?
I've got a river of living water, fountain that never will run dry.
Jesus, I pray, I bless the church and all of us. Amen.